Uber's Rider ID program is now available in the U.S. Neuralink says the FDA designated its Blindsight implant as a breakthrough device. And X is temporarily back online for some people in Brazil. It's Thursday, September 19th, and this is Engadget News. Uber just announced the expansion of safety features directed toward drivers, including a national rollout of enhanced rider verification. If a rider undergoes these additional verification steps, they'll get a verified badge on their account, which will let drivers know everything is on the up and up. The company says it designed these new verification measures in response to driver feedback that they want to know more about who is getting into their car. The company began testing this feature earlier this year, and it must have been a success as it's getting a national rollout. Lyft has its own version of this tool, though it's still being tested in select markets. Uber verifies riders by cross-checking account information against third-party databases, though it'll also accept official government IDs. The program will also allow users to bring in their verification status from the Clear program. While Rider ID is the most notable safety tool announced, Uber's also bringing its Record My Ride feature to the whole country after another successful beta test. This lets drivers record the entirety of the ride via their smartphone cameras without the need to invest in a dash cam. The footage is fully encrypted, with Uber saying nobody can access it unless a driver sends it in for review. The company hopes this will allow it to more quickly and fairly resolve any incidents that may arise. Drivers can now cancel any trip without a financial penalty, and they can unmatch from any riders they don't feel comfortable picking up. And finally, there's a new PIN verification feature in which drivers can request riders to enter a number to confirm they are, in fact, the correct guest. Uber tends to focus its resources on riders over drivers, so this is a nice change of pace. It is kind of a bummer, however, that drivers require this kind of enhanced verification system just to root out some bad apples and keep doing their jobs. In other words, don't be a jerk during your next Uber ride. Neuralink says the Food and Drug Administration has designated its experimental Blindsight implant as a breakthrough device. The company is developing the technology in an attempt to restore blind people's sight. Manufacturers who apply to the FDA's Voluntary Breakthrough Devices program and receive the designation from the agency are granted an opportunity to interact with FDA experts through several different program options to efficiently address topics as they arise during the pre-market review phase. The FDA also prioritizes breakthrough devices for review. Ultimately, a breakthrough device designation can accelerate development of a technology. Last year, the FDA gave the designation to 145 medical devices. Blindsight is separate from telepathy. It's implant that enables patients with spinal cord injuries to control computers using their thoughts, allowing them to play video games and design 3D objects. Neuralink owner and founder Elon Musk claimed back in March that Blindsight is already working in monkeys. Resolution is low at first, like early Nintendo graphics, but ultimately may exceed normal human vision, he said. Federal investigators have reportedly looked into Neuralink's animal testing practices, but Musk said in March that no monkey has died or been seriously injured by a Neuralink device. X is back online for many people in Brazil more than 2 weeks after the service was blocked in the country. The change, though, isn't because Brazil's government has reversed its stance on the Elon Musk-owned platform. Instead, it seems that X has begun using Cloudflare's DNS service, which is for now helping the social network avoid the Brazilian government's restrictions, though it's unclear how long that will be the case. In a statement, a spokesperson for X described it as an inadvertent and temporary service restoration in the country and that it expects to become inaccessible again. X has been blocked in Brazil since the end of August, when the Supreme Court Judge Alexandre de Moraes ordered internet service providers in the country to block X following months of publicly feuding with Musk over X's refusal to block certain accounts. The spat also affected SpaceX-owned Starlink, which had its Brazilian bank accounts frozen amid the dispute. The New York Times reported that X started to come back online for many people in Brazil Wednesday, though the service was still somewhat inconsistent. The Times reported that it was the company's move to Cloudflare that at least temporarily enabled it to come back. As it stands, Brazilian ISPs are likely figuring out how to continue to comply with the court order. Should they fail, Brazilian authorities are likely to look for new ways to enforce the block. Regulators in the country have imposed steep fines for users who attempt to get around the country's ban by using VPNs. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and additional articles at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from senior editor Carissa Bell and contributors Lawrence Bonk and Chris Holt, and was voiced and produced by me, Steve White, from the boutique sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.